Good morning, PBC. Hey, it's Brian and Luke, and it's Tuesday, so here we are again. Just a few things to share with you this morning. Hey, a couple things before we get to our little devotional this morning. Don't forget to pick up your children and youth calendar. They're almost all gone, so that's a good thing. That just shows us that you guys are interested in what our young people are doing. So thank you for getting those, and there's a few more left, so pick those up. It'll tell you whatever. I love Luke's idea. Most of the time, we ramp down in the summertime with our students, and Luke's idea is to ramp up during the summertime with our students. I just think that's an awesome idea. So show him that you're behind them and what they're doing, and pick up one of those calendars just so you know what's going on. Also, VBS is coming up starting June 6th. We have put online a sign up and registration online. Immediately, people started signing up and registering for VBS. That was exciting. We were sitting last night. Beep, people registering for VBS already. So that's exciting. So we're really looking forward to that. I hope we just have hundreds of kids come out. And so we're really looking forward to that. But I do want to share something with you today. When I say the word urgency, what kind of emotions or feelings does that conjure up inside of you? When we talk about urgency, what brings urgency in your life? It could be your job or your kids, or it could be a number of things in this crazy busy world we live in. We're not immune to it. Luke and I are crazy busy people too. We live in the middle of the same world you do. But I think when we think of urgency, we need to be thinking of other things outside of making sure our kids to get ball practice on time or to the tennis courts for lessons on time. That's all good stuff and that's all important. But when we talk about urgency, I think we need to be thinking about what I'll read here in just a minute, what Matthew wrote here. You know, we live in a time that I believe all prophecy has been fulfilled, that has to be fulfilled for the return of Christ. I don't think there's one more thing left that has to happen before Christ returns. So that tells me it could be today. That tells me we may not have another Sunday to meet together. He may come back before then. But also urgency goes to another level, and I asked Luke permission to share this with you. Luke lost a former student of his over in Nashville, Georgia this past Sunday. Right after our church services were over, it wasn't before 1 o'clock or so, right, Luke? Yeah. He got a phone call that said that one of his students was leaving church. They were going for dinner after church. Somebody crossed over the center line and hit him head on, and his parents were following right behind him. He didn't make it. He was killed right there on the spot. And I think when we think about things like that, 18 years old, urgency should come to mind. Luke's going to share with his students very soon. It's time to stop playing. It's time to stop playing church, and it's time to start getting serious about our relationship with Christ, because we are not promised one more minute. I'm sure that young man thought he had a whole life to live in front of him, as well as we all should. But we are not promised that thing, not one time. So with that in mind, Matthew wrote this in chapter 24. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched, and he would have not suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore, be ready, for in such an hour as you think not, the Son of Man comes. We could be living in the middle of those days that Matthew spoke of, that Matthew wrote. Jesus spoke of it, but Matthew recorded here. If I could steal a line from Tolkien, maybe it's the deep breath before the plunge. So it can be an exciting time as a Christian, but it also needs to be an urgent time as a Christian. Listen, it's just we talked about Sunday. Preach the word, proclaim the message, share the gospel with a lost and dying world. And if you're listening to this and you don't know Jesus as Lord and Savior, you've never committed your life to Him, you never trusted Him as Savior, let today be that day, because you're not promised one more minute. Not one more minute. Look, guys, I know that sounds kind of down today, but I don't think it's down at all. It can be in a very exciting time as a Christian. We are in an imminent watch for Christ's return. So keep that in mind this week as you go through your week. We love you, and we look forward to seeing you later.